to my channel. My name's Emma. It's my first ever video. I've been wanting to do YouTube for the longest time. I just haven't plucked up enough courage to do it. So finally, if you're watching this video, I have grown some balls and I posted it. So, as you can tell by the title of this video, this is 10 things I wish I knew before I moved out. So my channel is going to be home, lifestyle and beauty. So I thought, basically there's a story behind this. I filmed a makeup tutorial to post my first video, but literally the camera angle was so bad that you could not see anything. Like half my face cut off. I was so pissed off. So this is my first video. Obviously you guys don't know, but I moved out by myself, like fully on myself, for the first time last year. Since then I have left my apartment. But anyway, so these are things that I learned, tips and tricks, things I wish I knew. Just like 10 just random things you probably wouldn't even think about. I mean, some of these you probably would think about, but like some of them are just like, I don't know. I'm gonna stop rambling and just get into the video. Okay, so number 1, if you're thinking of moving or you have plans to move the next, let me just turn my phone to airplane mode. Sorry, so I put my phone in airplane mode. I was getting so many notifications. Acting like I'm popular. I'm not. Anyway, if you think about moving out, you know, the ideas in your head, or you're literally viewing apartments or houses, like anything, if the idea is lingering, I hope this video can help you out. So number 1 is check the area. And what I mean by that is obviously don't just check the area you're moving to. Obviously do, like check the crime rate and things like that. Like antisocial behaviour is a big one. Like make sure that's low. If it's an apartment complex, like honestly, like you're allowed to view it more than once. I don't know now because of COVID, but I would suggest going to view a place on a weekday and the weekend, because then you really get a feel for it. So like, what is it going to be like in a work week? Is it going to be nice and quiet for you? If that's your vibe. On weekends, is it still going to be quiet? Is it going to be lively? Because I literally made a mistake. I had a week, find an apartment, literally. Broke up my psycho ex. He literally kicked me out. And yeah, I literally had a week. I had to like stay in a hotel. It was, oh god, it was such a mess. But anyway, going off topic, again, as per usual, like that's what I do in daily life, not in videos. It's my first ever video. But yeah, check the area, because I made a mistake. I literally had no time. But yeah, I was staying in the Travelodge Wednesday through till Friday, so I didn't see the apartment complex at the weekend. First apartment I went to go see, fell in love with it, got it. Didn't have much time, so just went with it. And one thing they failed to disclose was actually that the apartment complex, the top floor, was a hotel. Oh my god. On the weekends, it was hell. Like, people were coming in, like, late night, have massive parties. And when I mean massive parties, I mean, like, hundreds of people at a time. Drugs, like, just the wrong sort of crowd. Like, as a young woman, living by myself, I did not want to be around that scene. I wanted just a chilled place to live. I literally worked in a bank not far from it, so I just wanted somewhere to live, to chill out, and oh my god, that place was not chilled. I've got so many stories of like creeps following me back from the lift to my apartment door. I literally had to slam the door on their face. It is unreal. Like, I could literally do a whole like series just on that. Like, so check out the area, please. Look at reviews. If you can, speak to the neighbours. I know you might not be able to now, but if you go into an apartment complex, I know not everyone's friendly, not every area is friendly. But if you see somebody, just be like, and it's obvious they live there, just be like, oh, like, how long have you lived here for? I'm thinking of moving in. Like, what's the feel for the place? Do you like it? Because the tenants are going to give you the honest truth. The agency or landlord are going to sugarcoat it and make it look like the best thing ever, because at the end of the day, they're trying to sell it to you. But yeah, definitely do your research. Don't make the mistake I did. Going into number 2, same sort of thing, but it's check the agent or landlord, agency or landlord, sorry. So, what I mean by that is Google reviews for your agency or landlord, you know. See, it's things like if somebody's got a broken tap, like how long does it take to fix it? Is anyone complaining that it's took ages? Are the agency or landlord replying in the comment section? Are they saying, okay, sorry this happened, we'll rectify your mistake, or are the comments getting ignored? What are people generally saying on the internet? I feel like the internet is a massive place and you can be really resourceful when you look properly. Definitely make sure you research the agency or landlord, because my agency, the manager, she was fab, but the girls, they're not going to be watching this, but they were a tad bitchy. So when I used to call up and they were like, I don't know, I'd be like, Like, I wasn't like a serial complainer. I'll just ring and say, oh, hello, like, my oven's broken, could someone come look at it? And it'd be like, oh, it's literally like I asked them to give me that arm or leg. They'd be like, literally, they made it so difficult, so hard, they were so judgmental. When I lost my job, and like to be in my apartment complex, in my contract, it does state that you have to be a working professional or student. So, because I wasn't working, even though I had rent money, I ran into some problems, and they literally asked so much personal things. So definitely read your contract thoroughly. Make sure you understand it. If you don't, go get references from somebody. Speak to somebody. Make sure you study it properly, because there's so many loopholes and things I didn't know that they caught me out on. Like added charges, things like that. So just be careful with that. I think I've missed out a massive section of that, but yeah, anyway, moving on. Number 3 is a 6-month tenancy agreement. And what I mean by this is you can get a 6-month tenancy agreement, you can get a year tenancy agreement, and you can get a rolling tenancy agreement. There's a few you can get. I would definitely recommend getting 6 months, just because the agent that was sorting me out for my apartment said to me, so many people call them and come to them after like the 7th month saying, I want to move out, like my job's relocated, or I'm not feeling the place anymore. And because they're tied into a 12-month contract, they can't get out of it. So they're either left, say lose a job or something, they're either left struggling to pay debt and rent and getting into arrears and things like that, or they want to move to another apartment and then they're left like having to pay rent for apartment, so they can't move up. Things like that. I've known so many people that have signed up for a year, want to move, and end up paying, like, even if it's for a month, end up paying for 2 apartments or houses, which is so not necessary. If you do it for 6 months, you can always add time to it. Once the 6 months end, you can always sign another tenancy agreement, or you can have a rolling contract. There's so many different things you can do, whereas if you tie yourself into a contract for a year, that is a year long. A lot of things can change in a year. So definitely 100%, especially if it's your first time moving out, I would say do the 6-month contract, because you can always add on to it. Your circumstances change, you've only got 6 months to sit through it. So definitely do 6 months. Number 4, take other expenses into consideration. So when you move out, you'll realise how much you have to pay, how much tax you have to pay. Oh my god. So there are so many things. I'd love to do a separate video on all these individual things I did and things like that to help people out, because I had nobody to help me. Like, my family are like 300 miles away. I had nobody to help me out with this stuff. I did have like my friend and her mum, and they did help me out a lot, but I was clueless. So you might have a £60 phone contract now, you're planning to move out, you think now that £60 is affordable. When you move out and you're paying £60 for a fucking iPhone, you'll be thinking, what am I doing? Like, oh my god, I need all the money I can get, unless you're like loaded. But if you're just like me and you're just working like bog standard like a job, like a bank, something like that, like customer service, whatever, and you're not loaded, like all these lucky people out there, then oh my god, things add up. So you've got your council tax, your gas, your electric, your water bill, TV licence, what else? TV licence, internet, Sky, Netflix, like so many things add up, and oh my god. So definitely sit down and work out what your expenses are. So your yearly salary or your monthly income, as long as that's not going to change, because mine changed. They gave me a pay cut. Fucked me over. So long as you've got everything covered, your rent and everything, and you still have some money to play with, then go ahead. But I feel like if you know you're going to be scraping by, like, maybe choose a cheaper apartment or choose a cheaper area, because there's nothing worse, me personally, I've been there, than literally living just to pay your bills. It is horrendous. Like, you have hardly any money left at the end of the month. Like, honestly, it is just the worst. And that's when like loans come into place and stuff like that, and it's just not a vibe. So definitely take other expenses into consideration. So it's not just your rent and your council tax. There's so many other little things you don't realise. Like, your boiler might break. Like, my landlord, I didn't do my research, my toilet broke, and toilets are priorities, so somebody's meant to come out and fix it if you have concierge in a day, or like 2 maximum. But nobody came, and it'd been a week, and like my toilet was not flushing. And like obviously like I'll like pour water down it to make it manually flush, but oh my god, who wants to do that? Like I literally had guests over that week as well. It was so embarrassing. Like oh my fucking god. They wouldn't come fix my toilet, so I had to pay for a plumber to come in. So it's things like that you just don't realise that you can have to pay for. You need savings for. Or even just a little bit of money, like extra money to go, you know, like £200, £300 extra in your pocket at the end of the month, if that is possible, because you never know. Next one, I was going to do numbers, but I'm lost. Is it 5? I don't know. 5. I wish I heard this tip. It's pretty like, it's common sense to be fair, but I wish I had heard of this before I moved out. I heard a YouTuber saying you should earn 3 times your rent. So say your rent's £500, you should be earning 1,500 just to make sure you cover it and everything else. And that way it's like, you know, you can pay it. Obviously there's other expenses, things like that, but I thought, what a genius idea. At the time when I moved, I was earning, like, I'm not going to say exactly what I was earning, but I was earning like a nice amount a month. So I literally had no worry in the world. Like everything was covered for the first like 3 months. It was fab. On the 4th month of living there, I got a pay cut, and I was like, oh my god. And believe me, it was quite a big one, and it makes such a difference. Like that's when I was living just to pay bills, and it is so depressing. You go into work just to pay bills and it's not a vibe. And I lost my job. So it's like, definitely, I would stick by that rule. Next time when I'm looking to move out, definitely gonna stick by that. Make sure my annual salary or my monthly salary is 3 times my rent money. Really good tip. Number 6, is it? Number 6, I've got more written down because I'm forgetful, is next time, this is sort of like, I've been there, done it, next time I'll do this. So next time I'd go for an unfurnished place, but with a freezer. First of all, number 1, I would go for a furnished place because it wasn't my furniture, it was all furnished. I literally just watched that back and I cannot make sense of it. Like, I'm pretty sure at one point I said my apartment was unfurnished. Makes no sense. My apartment was furnished. I said as well, it was all furnished. My apartment was furnished. Next time, I'll go for unfurnished. I hope I cleared that up. Okay. When I first moved in, I literally had a week to move in. And I am quite glad I had furniture because it was like, everything was there straight away. However, 1, you've got even more reliability. Like, obviously in like an apartment, if it's rented or a house, you like scuff the wall with like a mirror or something like I did. You have to pay to have it repainted when you move out. They'll keep your bond. Same with the furniture. I feel like it's more of a liability to be looking after their furniture, like their sofa and the bed, and do you know what I mean, like the wardrobe, like it gets chip in it. Like I'm so clumsy. Literally, it's so much hassle. I ripped a sofa cushion. Like I took the pillow, like the sofa cushions off to wash them. I was trying to put it back on, and I tore it. So I had to pay for that, and I'm pretty sure they charged me the full amount for a sofa in my bond. Because they can do that. Like once they got your bond, damage something, they have the right to take the money. So furnished, it is so much more effort, it is so much more difficult to maintain and look after because you're looking after someone else's furniture. Like I said, like accidents happen, like the rip, and I had to pay, and I was out of pocket. Secondly, coming into that, it felt like an Airbnb. So no matter what I did to make it seem cozy, to make it seem homely, to make it seem like my aesthetic, my vibe, it just never felt like home. It did to an extent, but it felt like an Airbnb. It was too polished. It wasn't to my, I like cozy vibes. It was too modern, too bright. Like, because all the furniture was chosen by somebody else. No, dining room table I hated. It just wasn't a vibe. When I first moved in, I thought it was such a good idea. When I lived there for a year, I was so sick of their furniture. I just wanted to buy my own furniture. But the problem being, if I wanted to, say my dining room table, I wanted to replace that with my own, you have to then pay to keep their furniture in storage, which is so stupid. Same as a bed, same as everything else. So I would go for unfurnished and slowly build things up, because that way it's more homely. And not only that, when you do move, you've got the option then. You know, once you move, you've got the option because you've got all your furniture, so it just broadens the horizon to so many more apartments, so many more things, and you're not just tied down to just furnished. Because now I have like no furniture, I don't have a couch, I don't have a bed. Like, I obviously do now, but I didn't have a bed. And oh my god, definitely furnished. And just one like extra tip, like a bonus tip. Oh my god, make sure you have a decent sized freezer, because a lot of apartments, like I keep going to say apartment because that's my experience. I don't know about houses, but a lot of apartments have them little box freezers. You cannot fit anything in them. So I was doing a weekly shop, like every week obviously, and it was like nothing would fit in them freezers. Okay, the lighting has probably changed drastically. So a little while later, my phone died, and I'm recording off my phone. Oh my god. What I was saying was, make sure you have a decent sized freezer, because that's one thing I just didn't take into consideration. And like I said, when it came to weekly shops and stuff, like, I like doing my shop every 2 weeks. Like now I've got a decent sized freezer because I like frozen foods. Like obviously you fresh things like salads, like bread, milk and things like that you can buy every like week, every couple of days. But like frozen stuff I wanted to buy like every like 2 weeks. But the thing is, I found like I was spending more money because nothing would fit in my freezer. I was only eating fresh food and takeaways, which I'll get onto a bit later. So I feel like I was just wasting so much money because I didn't have a fucking freezer. Honestly, these little things you don't realise. Number 6 is you don't need everything at once. This is sort of like advice if you have moved out and you're watching this. You don't need everything in one go. Like, cannot get everything in one go. It's impossible unless you've got like hefty savings tucked away ready to splurge. You cannot get everything straight away. My parents, I was so grateful. They came down and helped move in, and they bought me like pots and pans, and like they bought like plates and cutlery and things like that. And honestly, it was like my bin was not aesthetically pleasing at all. It's one of them bins, you know, where you like, it was so tiny, you just like, I can't explain it. Like the lid is like one of them like ones that.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I'll post a picture somewhere of one of the bins that I'm trying to explain. The bin was not aesthetically pleasing. I had like 3 pots and pans, hand-me-downs. I took hand-me-downs, like lamps, things like that. And you know what? It wasn't my vibe for the longest time. It wasn't like how I would decorate for the longest time. It was just to get me into an apartment. And slowly and surely, I started buying things along the way. So, for example, my bathroom just started off with bog standard bog brush. See what I did there? And bin. And then slowly surely I started like building a theme for my home and buying things. Like every month, if I had like a paycheck, I had some money left over, I'd buy like bathroom accessories, or I would buy kitchen things. But yeah, start off cheap. You can literally get a toaster and kettle for £5. It doesn't have to be amazing. It doesn't have to be like everything kitted out in designer straight away and looking perfect and amazing. Start off cheap and build your way up. As long as you have the essentials to live, then you're doing something right. So definitely, like, it's just like a little like message to you guys. If you are living by yourself, if you have moved out and your house or apartment's not how you want it, it's fine. You know, same as if you're thinking of moving out, like, you're not gonna get everything straight away. Like these Instagram home accounts make you think like living by yourself is amazing and everything's gonna be like dandy and great, but no, it takes time. Same with Christmas decorations. At Christmas, I literally spent like £500 on decorations at Christmas, and I wasn't even there. I went home to my family's house, and looking back, it was my first Christmas living alone. I admit that. But I bought like so much stuff to decorate the apartment. I have to admit, it was worth it because it looked so nice. I love Christmas. I love fall. You will get to, if you stick around, you'll get to know that. Love Christmas and fall, but I spent so much money on Christmas decorations, and I gave my tree away when I moved out. Your home is not going to be a home straight away. It takes time. Moving on. Number 7, it's kind of, is it number 7? It's 7 next to it. I don't know if it's 7. is be careful who you let in. So when you move out, especially being young or old, I don't know, or older, not old, don't come for me. Lots of people want to be your friend because you've got an apartment. Lots of people want to come to yours for prees, come to yours to chill, and sort of use and abuse it as, you know, their own. And I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but I had some friends, and they weren't really friends, because when it came to it, I needed them. They wasn't there for me, and like, they would always come to my apartment, and this is like going off a tangent, but yeah, so they would always come to my apartment to chill and drink and things, but when it came to like actually going out for meals and stuff, they never invited me. So like all three of them would go out and like leave me, and I'd be like, huh? People were literally just using me for a place to chill on the weekends, like, oh, let's go to Emma's on a Saturday and have some drinks because we can't afford to go out, and things like that. Just be careful who you let in, because it's your place, it's your home, and it should be respected. Like, I came home from getting my lashes done one day, and my friends had like stayed at my apartment. Literally, this is like gone off a tangent completely, but they finished work at 6. I was getting my lashes done at 6, so I left. They was like, oh, can we please stay here, because I busted until 8. Let them stay. Literally got in the door at 10 to 8. They was like, alright, we're going now, bye. And the place was a fucking shithole. All of them left and left me clean up. One of my friends, ex-friends, used to help me tidy up, but this day she just left, and there were lolly wrappers, like ice lolly wrappers, stuck to the floor, like half-eaten Percy pigs stuck to the floor. And I feel like it's your home. Like, make people respect it. When somebody comes in, I used to feel so rude for telling someone to take their shoes off. Like, it's your home. If someone comes in with muddy ass shoes, tell them, take your shoes off. Like, respect my home. Just as they respect the parents' home or their aunt's home, anything like that, respect my home. So definitely put your foot down. And I feel like the sooner you do that, the easier it is moving forward. Gone off on sort of a tangent, but it's your home, it's your place. Make sure your friends treat you with respect, please. And going into that, be careful who you trust, because my ex-friends got a key cut without my knowledge, and it was really messy when we fell out. Like, I had to get the locks changed because they refused to give the key back and things like that. Just be careful who you're letting into your environment and who you're letting into your home. I know, like, it's easy to give a spare key to a friend or family member just in case, you know, just something happens, but honestly, it is not worth it. I'd just, like, if you get locked out, like, call a locksmith. It's worth paying the extra cost, because I end up having to pay for my locks to get changed and explain everything to my landlord. So just be careful who you let in. 8. I don't know. 9? I think it's 9. Cook. Okay, so I feel like this video is getting really long, but I must say this because, oh my god, I'm just going to post some photos of the takeaways I got when I moved out. Because my freezer was so tiny, for one, I used to eat fresh food, which is fine, but it's very expensive. Obviously you have your tinned food and things like that. But I got into a bad habit of eating takeaway, and it's so convenient. And once you start eating takeaway, you cannot be asked to cook. You really can't. So I was eating takeaway every single day, and when I had a good job and I was earning a decent amount, it was doable. Didn't really leave a dent in my wallet, and I didn't really care. So if that is you, I would say still don't do that, because I made a mistake. Like, when I lost my job, like, it was like when the world ended. Like, honestly, like, I looked back to all the money I'd spent on Ubers and food and like takeaway, and I thought, what a waste. Like, what savings I could have. Like, oh my god, eating in from the get-go. So definitely, like, same as you got money at the end of the month, like, obviously treat yourself sometimes, but say, like, it's the end of the month, you got £100 at the end of the month, you want to go on a night out, limit yourself. Say, I'm going to spend £50 this night out and keep £50 in my savings, because savings, going on to that next, literally, oh my god, they are needed. So don't go off on just eating takeaway all the time. Do it as like a fine treat, and when I mean a treat, I mean like once a week, if that, because it adds up. And honestly, it's really naive for me just to get takeaway because I had the money at the time, because you never know what's going to happen. Things change all the time, and like I said, like, life throws surprises at you all the time. So you never know if your financial situation is going to change. Just honestly, do a Tesco's food shop, do an Aldi food shop. And what I found helped when my boyfriend moved in, well, not moved in, he stayed with me for a while, was we wrote meal plans. So we'd say, right, so Monday we're having fajitas, Tuesday lasagna, Wednesday. So that way you would just buy your food for the week or two, and it would last, and you'd get used to your food. Try cook as much as you can, and try meal plan. Anyway, last tip, this is going to be a really long video, I can feel it, oh my god, it's like I've been talking forever. Savings. Okay, so this is like a difficult one, because how much savings do you need to move out? Depends. I literally had £1,000 savings and my salary on top, my monthly salary. My monthly salary and everything covered my bond, my rent and everything like that. And then the savings were just like getting by, like getting food and stuff like that. And I would say, to move out comfortably, furnished or unfurnished, I would say we can have enough. I would say £6,000. Have £6,000 just in case you lose your job or something like this happens. COVID. It's probably not going to happen again, but you don't know how long it's going to go on for, and you don't know how steady jobs are at the moment. So I would say £6,000 if you could go unfurnished to get it done up to like get a bed, get a couch, things like that. Literally, like you could do it on like £3,000. I would say 3. You could do it on £3,000. Like take your rent and bond, your first month's rent and bond and everything out of your savings. Do it on £3,000 easily and just keep saving. So say your bond and everything's £2,000 and you've got £1,000 savings. Keep them as savings. Don't go out and splurge on the most expensive kettle, expensive toaster and things like that, because it's so unneeded, it's so unnecessary. Keep your savings and add to it, little and often. If it's the end of the week and you just add £5 to your savings, it adds up. So definitely save, and even when you've moved out, still save, because extra money can never hurt. Anyway, that wraps up the video. It feels like I've been talking for eternity. I think that was 10 facts of things. If it wasn't, I'm so sorry. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like, comment and subscribe. Comment if you've got any extra tips or tricks. Subscribe if you want to stick around and see what I'm going to start posting. This background is horrendous, but I'm going to start posting full content. So if you want to see that, definitely subscribe. I'm going to post all my social media links somewhere around here or in the bio. So yeah, thanks for watching.